2.
Wow,
Music.
so professional with intro music.
Professional.
Nice.
I hope.
I was thinking I should follow it up with cheering, but I guess I won't.
And that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much. I like. I hope that. So hello, viewer, at home. If anyone is actually viewing, did you hear the intro music that we had play as we came in?
Amanda's brilliant idea to put it in, and the software actually allows us to do that. So pretty cool.
Yeah. So shout out to Riverside for letting accounts be able to upload their own sound effects. That was neat.
Hey, I just put the link into our personal developer Slack that we're live. So
Maybe.
we might get 1 or 2 people. It's a very small Slack.
Right.
There's only like 5 or 6 of us, and 3 of us are here now. So
Maybe Kevin will join on time this time instead.
Kevin's our biggest fan.
He is, and considering he's in the UK, it's nice with that time difference.
I am so looking forward to meeting Kevin in August because I'm going to be in London for a week, and we've got an evening planned because I'm doing like a photography workshop during the day, so I'm not going to be with my wife and son. And I just said I'm going to do the evening with Kevin as well, and the rest of the vacation will be with the family. So looking forward to meeting Kevin in person.
That is awesome. Yeah, we've known him for a long time. We never actually met him in person. At least I haven't, and you haven't.
No, I haven't either.
No, but we've all seen him on our regular video chats. So that's all
Yes.
really, really cool. Speaking of getting together, I think it's time for us to have a bar bite at our regular location. You guys want to do that before summer vacation ramps up?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
next week or the week after? Like, I'm not sure what's good for you guys.
I don't know. I'll take a look at my calendar after this.
That's valid. During the week.
Yeah, Tuesday,
is
Wednesday,
better.
something like we usually do, right?
Yeah. Because even Tuesdays, I teach till 7. Shout out to Seneca students. What? And I also usually need a drink by the time that's done.
Shout out to Seneca students.
Shout out to Seneca students. What?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, awesome! Looking forward to that. So, what's anybody got something on our agenda for our Wednesday lunch bite?
I wanted to ask you guys something real quick. We talked about something in our Slack channel just today, as a matter of fact, that made me think of this. I charge clients for obviously the build of a website. They pay hosting, right? Or they pay me and I pay for hosting, but I bill them yearly or something like that, right?
Yeah, I do that as well.
Anytime I have to buy assets like stock photos or something, they pay for it. Like, it's all offloaded onto the client. But it occurred to me, my deployment services, in my case, I use Deploy HQ. Some people use Buddy.works. The thing that puts your GitHub stuff onto their live site. I don't charge clients for my accounts on my deployment service. I pay, in my case, it's something like $12 a month. And that service deploys my client sites to their production environments. I don't charge them for that. Should I? Do you guys do that?
I don't think so. I think that'd just be a cost of doing business, and it's $12 a month, and you can run however like 5 or 7 or 10 sites off of it, right? It's only $12. I would just bake it into like part of the cost of business, and you're charging them like a maintenance fee or annual hosting. Just that's what it would be, in my opinion.
I mean, it kind of makes me think of like back in the day when responsive came about, responsive design, that you had to make a mobile version. I remember web developers saying things like, well, does that mean we charge double because we're kind of making a different version of the site and all this stuff? It's
That's not responsive. That would be adaptive. When you
right,
would have like separate files for mobile, and then you would have.
Actually, I have another thought on this as well.
Can I say something, or are you just gonna?
Can I just want to
Tell
really?
me more. Sean.
Sean's only got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
gotta
Sean's
leave.
gotta-
Maybe we'll let
Sean's
him.
gotta
So
bounce. Go ahead,
my
Sean.
thought is that DeployBot or Deploy HQ or whatever it is just another tool that you use to do your job. So it's not like you're charging your clients for your MacBook or VS Code or any other subscriptions. I think it's just another tool in your toolbox that you don't
Yeah, I
specifically
guess.
charge for it, but clients pay for it out of your profits.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
I'm done, Amanda.
Thank you, Sean. I mostly agree with what Sean said. I think it would be, I think clients would be kind of put out if they like got the invoice and they saw like individual line items for, oh, like this security plugin that you like install on everyone's site, plus the fraction of the amount for the monthly deployment cost, plus. So I mean, in that regard, I absolutely agree. That would be kind of a weird thing to do. And so it should come out of your costs, but that means bump everything up. Bump up all like your hourly rate, your yearly hosting rate, whatever it is, bump it up to just sort of as a blanket umbrella, cover all of those costs.
And that's what you were saying, Sean, about baking it into things.
Yeah,
right?
and that's exactly what I meant. And Amanda said, bump up your hosting costs. I did
Yeah.
bump up hosting costs recently because I think I undervalued the amount of time and effort and stuff that I need to do for it.
Interesting.
You still seem on the
Well,
fence.
I
or-
don't know. I'm thinking like things like backups. I guess backups is something where you can kind of just say to a client, "Hey, do you want to have backups in case something blows up?" And they'll say, "Yes, we do." And then it's easy to say, "Then you got to
Actually,
pay for that."
I include the backups with my hosting cost as well.
Aha. Well, now here, this is because well,
And it's when I tell them, hey, hosting includes backups. It's like 30 daily backups of whatever and database, and it's part of my cost.
well, see, I have redundant backups. I've told this story on the show before. I have backups usually that's built into the hosting environment that they just offer. I don't charge anything for that because they don't charge me. It's part of the hosting plan. But I also have a redundant backup system, which I've needed to use in the past because the first one has failed because some of those shared hosts are not reliable. So
yeah.
in some cases, I do have a line item in a project, proposal that says, "Hey, you want backups?"
Yeah,
this is it.
I'm not
But
using.
I think
Go ahead,
I think the
Amanda.
client like sees value in that, like the term backup, and the client is
Yeah.
like, "Whew, oh my goodness, okay, thanks." But it's like
Right.
if you try to put in something like deployment,
Yeah.
and like even other things like, I mean, I know that right now, I know that you guys like using Tailwind, and obviously Tailwind is free, but if you started using like, other services that maybe made Tailwind easier, Tailwind plus SCSS that, plus Gulp, I know that all of those things are free, but if you were using a service to make those
Tailwind
easier,
UI, I think, is a thing that they
something
have
like that,
costs
it's
money.
like you wouldn't, like the client would see that and be like, I'm not paying
Yeah.
for that, but you use it and you sort of hide it,
Yeah,
bake it
yeah.
into other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to go to backups, my hosting doesn't include backups because it's not a shared host. So I make sure I have offsite backups and I just bake it right into the value that I tell them. And it's included in a description of the hosting. It's 1 year of hosting. It includes offsite backups, backup to 30 days, and costs you X dollars.
And now that requires that they are paying you for their hosting services and you are paying, right? Because like in
Yes.
my case, some of my clients, some want me to do that, which is like, "Hey, you go do it, Mike. We don't want to deal with any of this stuff." But other clients are like, "No, our, accounting department needs blah, blah, blah. Tell us where we sign up for hosting and we will create an account and give you the login." So in that case, things like backups, if it's an off-site thing, it would have to be a separate process that they
Oh yeah,
engage in.
absolutely. And I do have a rescue client that I'm just starting to engage with, and they're really big, and they're going to be managed. They manage their own hosting and everything. We're going to set up offsite backups, but they're going to own it. I'll just run it. They'll create a login that I do. So when I say I manage this, it's for smaller businesses that they don't have like a whole IT department, and it's simpler for me to control it and then pass it on if they decide to leave. But for a bigger organization where they might want to pull in other developers from time to time, I prefer that they manage it and they own it. I think it's just a better process in that way.
But in that case, you wouldn't be able to pad anything because they're paying the hosting company directly.
No, but I don't make any money off of that specifically, but the time for me setting it up and managing any of the backups all gets added into what the retainer or maintenance contract. So like
got it.
if I have to go in and configure everything, well, yeah, it's eating up the hours that you're paying for in your maintenance contract.
See, I'm always really surprised that you guys like offer to do hosting for your clients. Like I'm very much a you don't know where to host, sign up here, send me the login information, because I don't want to have to worry about like year after year actually, having the charge come in on my credit card and be like, oh yeah, I got to contact this client, or even, set a reminder to contact them a month in advance and make sure I get that, or I'm gonna turn off your hosting. Like it seems like more hassle than it's worth. Is it working out for you guys?
I've been pretty lucky in that way. I haven't had an issue, and my invoicing system sends out the invoice automatically at the
Yeah.
end of each year. If they don't pay up, I follow up, and then they pay, and it's done. It's like usually I've only had somebody late once or twice, and it was like, oh hey, sorry, I forgot, and they pay it that day. So
It's the same for me. I don't do hosting in the sense that the client thinks I'm their host, and if something goes wrong, I'm very clear to my clients. I say, look, I will manage it. I'll speak to the host because I speak their language and all that, and talk about
Yeah.
PHP and whatever. I can do that, but I'm clear to them to say, like, look, if something goes really wrong, you're hosted on a third party thing. It's not me. I will talk to them, but don't blame me if something goes wrong. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like that. It's not like I consider myself a hosting company. It's not at all.
No, I know, but it's just
I'm a little
like,
different
but
than Mike.
you're-
Yeah, I know Sean has
Yeah.
more of the situation like that sometimes, right? Where
Well,
you are
the-
effectively their hosting company.
Yeah, because it's not like I'm using Laravel Forge and DigitalOcean, so it's not like it'd be easy to just pass it back to them and say, here. I mean, I could,
Yeah.
but it's Laravel Forge, DigitalOcean is more it's for the more technically savvy. So I do
It-
that.
Yeah, it takes me a while to get in there and remember how to do stuff. I can't imagine passing that off to a client.
Right.
I set up a long time ago. I set up a Google Doc that has got a standard
Step by
operating
step.
procedure.
Yep.
So, because hey, I'm going to be opening that up first week of July because I've got a client. They pay for their own, but they need to upgrade to Craft 4, and their current server is not ready to do it. So we're going to create a whole new server, upgrade, and then just point the DNS to the new server.
Nice. Anyone else want to talk about something else? I have one more thing I wanted to bring up.
Well, no, I was just because talking about hosting, and in the Slack channel, or like over the last couple of days, all of our colleagues have been talking about where we host and what we use, and there's so many options out there, and it really is so overwhelming. And I'm sure that everything that was suggested was like sort of the more technical side of it, like DigitalOcean and Forge and things like that. And I was really feeling a little bit of just imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't know where you guys have heard about half of these services or using them, and this one makes me angry because I don't have enough control. And I'm like, my site is a bit different because I wanted to like do it right in DigitalOcean and Forge, but oftentimes with clients, it's like, you know what, just go sign up with this like shared hosting. They give you a cPanel. Just do
Yeah.
that.
I can see that. I just don't like cPanel, and I found in the past when I did use it, which was years ago, that a lot of times site would be brought down by some other buggy WordPress site that's on a shared hosting, which is why I like the Forge and DigitalOcean thing. And I learned all of that from paying attention to Andrew Welch and the NY Studio 107 blog. Like he's just an incredible wealth of information.
And we've had him on the show before, and he talked
Yes,
about that very thing, site
yes, we have.
optimization and hosting and that. I'm sort of like it's another situation where it's like a middle ground. I get my clients on a shared hosting thing, but it's not a shared hosting plan. I always tell them to get on a VPS server, which also has cPanel running. So it's sort of best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
But
that's
the
an
reason
interesting
they-
idea.
Yeah, the reason I never recommend shared hosting anymore for that reason, that someone else could bring down your site or whatever. But
Yeah. I mean,
it
that's
came
smart,
up.
but a lot of
Go
time
ahead.
clients are so cheap.
Yes, that can be an issue, but I always try to just bring it back to, look, I try to explain that thing about if you're on a shared host, it's like you're living with a bunch of roommates and maybe the bathroom isn't available for you to have a shower. And the bathroom in this case would be like some kind of server
Resources.
speed or I don't know what.
Yeah.
And I can usually talk them into, and it's like $1,000 a year. So if you care at all about your website, if you're a professional organization, then put a little money into it,
That's true. I'm not paying $1,000 a year in hosting.
Yeah.
That's to
No.
that.
No, right. But, someone like an organization that happens to be looking for a site or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
The biggest issue with it is support. That's why it came up in our chat today, because it was or the other day, because I told this story in the thing for any web developers who are watching this later. I don't think there's anyone in the chat now, but anyway.
I just checked and there's
we
no
had-
comments.
Oh,
Yeah,
we've got
that's
three
all right.
concurrent users, but 3 concurrent viewers, but is that you guys?
One of them was me.
Yeah.
I popped in, I saw 2, and I was just checking the chat, and then I left. So one of those 3 is got to
Well,
be me.
If anyone out there watching is a bot, thank you.
Yeah,
Share with your
exactly.
bot friends.
Yeah. tell your bot friends. But I had a issue with hosting the other day. I said, I tried to put in some kind of a PHP, what do they call it? Plugin or
Any.
extension. And the guy that I was doing the tech support with in a chat switched me from PHP 8 to PHP 7.4 as a way to solve that problem.
So he
That's a huge-
downgraded you. He didn't even
Yeah.
consider the requirements of the software you're using.
Yeah.
No.
You should
Isn't it
name and
ridiculous?
shame this company. I would.
No, I'm not
shame.
going to do that, but
I'm encouraging you to name and shame.
I desperately want to find a new
Okay, but
company that doesn't do that.
Because
I,
I think
I
we
understand
can
that you
all-
don't want to shame, but I
I
would.
don't know, man. We all feel very fine naming and shaming GoDaddy.
That's true.
So
I'll
and
think
that's the
about it.
thing. It's like it's not even necessarily. I mean, we obviously don't have enough credential to cancel anybody, but I mean, I think that it's okay to say I had a bad experience with this company.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
other people, maybe it's worked for other people. That's fine, but
yeah.
this is what happened to me. I think that's okay.
And the problem is, it's like, other than that, I've been fine with this company, but it's like just this one particular person. And I've even had good people that I've talked with in in support. Like, they've been fine. They'd help me out with stuff. Where this particular person just thought it was okay to just do these ridiculous.
All right. Well, in this case, it may not be the company. You've got history with them, and you've been happy with it until this one person. Maybe they just need to be informed about how to do things correctly.
Well, I did fill out
by their supervisor.
At the end of the chat, it says, how would you rate this chat? It's 5 stars or whatever. And it gives you a place to write comments. And boy, did I write some
Yeah.
comments in there.
Yeah,
This
I would
this
hope
is
so.
completely unacceptable what this person did.
Good for
Did you hear back from the company?
No, I doubt it. I wouldn't even read it. But
Yeah.
that happens.
Oh, speaking of Reddit, if we want something else to chat about, have you?
Nice segue.
I don't know if you guys are on Reddit as often as I am, but have you heard about how they're getting so viewers at home?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, all the API situation. So Reddit itself is the website and they have the app and whatever, but a lot of Reddit users prefer to use a third-party app because it's got like better functionality. They like how it flows. They're used to it, whatever the reason. But with these third-party apps, they need to like keep connecting to Reddit through their Reddit API to like get the content and add comments, etc., whatever. Reddit is going to start charging for their API.
And it's an exorbitant amount, apparently.
I've heard, yeah. And everyone on Reddit, in the Reddit community, is up in arms. And so for the last 2 days, I have just been upvoting all of my subreddits when they post, we're going dark from, June 12th to June 14th in protest of, so all of the Reddit users are really hoping to get like 0 content, 0 users, 0 views, 0 everything for this, like the 12th to the 14th span to protest to Reddit. Like why are you being so greedy?
So
Yeah.
explain to me again how does this API change impact so many people? Like what are people doing with Reddit?
As I understand it, it's it's basically that they're charging a lot more than other similar services with the similar amount of API calls, and everybody keeps referencing Imager or image, an image sharing service. So one of the popular apps is expected to have to pay $20 million a month or something.
But that app, what is it? People go there instead of going straight to Reddit?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
it's popular with like moderators and people who have specific accessibility needs.
Okay.
What I saw, and I haven't really followed super closely, is that it's like Reddit wants to have more control over things and force people to use their own app so that they can make more money off of ads.
Sure.
I personally have no skin in the game. I don't care either way. I kind of support it, but I think a lot of people are like, hey, these API calls should be free. That's what I saw. I don't think it should be free. I think people should have to pay and support it, but maybe Reddit is charging too much. Basically, I don't care either way. I'm just going to like sit there and eat popcorn.
Yeah. Like it's not going to super affect me, except for what am I going to do to kill time for those 2 days?
Right.
Because
Exactly.
I use the Reddit app, but it's
So
one
do
of
I.
those things where it's like, and the people who are using these other third party apps, like maybe they also connect to other feeds, not just Reddit. So in that case, maybe they're going to like one source to get like a bunch of different news feeds. So I could imagine that they would be it would affect them very much.
Fun
Sort of like
fact,
a tweet deck kind of thing. Yeah.
Fun fact, I thought Reddit was like the bottom of the internet at one point until both Mike and Amanda at one of our regular drinking meetups got me on Reddit, and now I'm on there daily. This was like about 4 years ago.
Their slogan
lot
is
of-
literally the front page of the internet, I think,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that their
Something like that, yeah.
tagline?
Well, a lot of people were saying, because there's somebody, and so in the Explain It Like I'm Five subreddit, someone posted, it's like, so what is this API thing? Why is everyone up in arms? And I forget where I was going with this.
Well,
Anyway, yeah, they explained a bit of it, and oh yeah, that's it. Apparently, a lot of people are having problems Googling for answers because if you type in "how do I do this," it's like the first 5-6 links are all sponsored ads, which isn't helpful. But if you Google "how do I do this" Reddit, it'll take you to Reddit posts that have people looking for the exact same thing.
right.
Oh, interesting. Anyways, guys, I do need to cut out, so unfortunately, I'm gonna leave early. Feel free to continue, and we'll catch up later.
We'll talk about you while you're gone.
I'm sure you
John.
will. I'll watch the recording. Bye.
All nice
Bye.
things.
I don't know how much longer you want to keep going there, Amanda, but
I got time today, but not. I don't know if I got a lot to talk about. What's new with you?
I wanted to briefly talk about, I don't know I just want to complain about
Yeah.
ghosting. Do you get a lot of ghosting in your dealings with people? Here's the setup.
Yeah, go.
This was about a while ago. It was, I don't know, six weeks ago maybe, or a month ago. Two different potential clients reached out asking blah, blah, blah. And it even looked like a really good fit, but both of them just vanished. And you reach out again, nothing. And then it occurred to me when that happened and I got angry, I was like, I think this happened also like 3 or 4 months ago with someone else. And I looked up my previous, whoever I thought that was in my email correspondence. Sure enough, yeah, that's another person that I was referred to. Someone referred me to them and they reached out, blah, 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 was going really well, gone, nothing. And it just bothers me so much. Like, just say, thanks, we'll be in touch if we decide to proceed, anything like that.
Yeah.
And ever get that?
Yes, but I think that like a very, very, very long time ago, like when I first started doing, like within the first 5 years of doing the consulting work, like working for myself, I had this one contact who every 3 or 4 months, he would contact me really super excited, really over the top. Yeah, we're totally going to do this thing. I'll call you next week. Nothing.
Yeah.
And then like 5-6 months later, he'd contact me about something else. And this happened so consistently over like a year or two that I think it kind of conditioned me to just be like, yeah, okay, great. I'll talk to you later. And as soon as I hang up, I've completely forgotten about that project. It's
right.
like whenever anybody talks to me about a project, it's like, yeah, I got great ideas. This is my time. I'm excited to start working on it. I really want to do stuff. And then unless I actually hear back from them, it's like I don't put like, I know that there are some people who like actually will start planning and working on the project.
Yeah.
For example, our friend Steve
Yeah.
will get like almost entire projects finished before he's actually had like the requirements or the payment schedule or anything like that. And I can't. I'm not. It's not even been burned too many times. It's just I have had enough experience that things just don't work out. So
Yeah.
always say yes, always be excited, always, think that it could happen, and then forget about it until you actually hear from them again.
Yeah, I mean, in my case, like, especially these recent ones, like I've got enough work going on right now. It's fine. I'm not counting on these things to come to fruition. It's just that I just find it so friggin' rude. Like,
Yeah.
for people to, it's like the analogy I always give is imagine speaking to someone in person or on the phone. You wouldn't just instantly hang up. You would end the conversation. You would say, okay, thanks, whatever. But if you look at the email correspondence, it's always email.
Yeah.
There are still questions like, okay, whatever timelines or something, and it's just no response at all. And it's,
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's unprofessional. So people shouldn't do that.
No, I agree. But of all of society's faults and annoyances, and God, I wish people didn't do that.
You think that's low on the
I
list?
think it's low to medium.
Yeah,
on the
I don't
list.
know. Maybe I'm just, I don't know what it is. I also don't like the way that people use grammar. So I'm not surprised this kind of thing bothers me.
I'm surprised we're friends because my grammar, Amanda don't talk good.
Lately, it's not slang grammar. It's lately the thing I keep noticing. Maybe you'll notice this after I say it to you. When people talk, a lot of people now drop their G's at the end. So like working, I've been working and playing. Have you ever noticed that? Instead of
then they-
working, playing. They say it as though the word ends in EEN.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
like, I was talking to so and so instead of talking. Anyway, now I'm on just a rant of things that
Yeah,
bother me.
you are.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh. Well.
Yeah. So,
Well, should we wrap it up?
yeah, I guess we should. So when we do this again in 2 weeks, that's actually the day we leave for our maritime road trip.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so I might try to do maybe just like a little bit of audio or something from the road. It depends with my Freedom Mobile and not having access everywhere in the country. We'll
Oh yeah.
see how that works out. But yeah, you guys might have to be on your own for that.
Okay, and I am taking a trip down east in the first week of July. So I guess
Maybe we
I will
should-
be, but it'll be going through the States at that time. So maybe I'll do the same
Yeah.
on that trip.
Maybe we should stop talking about our vacation plans so that any nefarious people don't realize when we're away from our
We're
homes
not
for
home,
extended
yeah.
periods of time.
Well, I've got people that are going to be guarding my house, just so anyone knows.
That's right. We're leaving our pit bull at home.
That's right.
And by that point, he'll be hungry.
Not leaving him any food, so yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
That's it.
this is
Do you
cool.
want to do the music again? 'Cause
Well,
was such a
it
cool
occurred to me that was
effect.
the intro. I can do it, but I should get the outro because the outro has like a better. I'll play it anyway, but yeah,
again.
I'll think about that next time. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah. I'll see you
Thanks,
later. Bye.
everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Bye, viewers.